And I want to first introduce one of our great friends, Reverend Scott Samler Michael, Reverend at the AUUC in Burke, Virginia. Reverend.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I had the pleasure of being with Imam Johari on Wednesday night at a call to healing. And he made me laugh by saying something like I'm going to say. I'm a white man. The people that put the person in power that now has us concerned come from where I come from. Poor white working class communities. And I must admit, I was surprised at the amount of acceptance of such a nasty message that we heard from a presidential candidate. So I'm here to tell you that you have allies in white faith communities, because we all understand that the only reason we can preach what we want to preach and pray the way we want to pray is that the government that we support gives us their protection, no matter how we pray or where we come from or what papers are in our pockets. I'm here to say to you that I have never felt more at home in a mosque than today. I am blessed by your presence. I am fed by being here for your worship today. And it means everything to me. I would love to share with you messages from all the Unitarian Universalists and other congregations in Northern Virginia. We are dedicated to being public allies for you. I know many of the people that I serve needed to have us gather on Wednesday after we got the results. And they said, and my colleagues in the ministry said, we need to have more frequent contact. We need to break bread together more often. And they said, please, when you see anyone from these communities, and I'm saying this to you, I pledge my fortune, my prestige, my position, my honor, my very life to defend and stand as a public witness that you are my fellow citizens. Every time I've ever asked anyone from this institution to stand with us for justice, for prayerful peace, for social transformation, you show up. The Voice Rally, how many did you guys have? 220 people? You are not just my friends, you are my fellow citizens. We will pray for you, we will pray with you. And I ask you to know and to reach out and find other white folks of faith who will do everything they can to defend all of our neighbors, our fellow citizens. Because we know that the church, all congregations exist to build, promote, defend the beloved community. We exist for the social transformation of this world while we are preparing ourselves for the next.
Thank you so much. Dr. Issam Umesh, board member here at Al-Hijrah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful, I greet all of you with the greeting of peace, and I greet our guests with the greeting of peace. Our nation has completed the arduous task of picking its president. Like it or not, we did have the peaceful transfer of power in the best of ways. Democrat or Republican, we have elected an American citizen to lead the nation. But we stand today because we believe in America. We stand today, and we may be anxious, we may be saddened, we may be disappointed, but we know that we cannot be helpless. And we are as strong as the weakest amongst us. And we are as safe as the most vulnerable amongst us. And we have the faith and the belief that with every hardship there comes ease. And this is a challenge. This is a time for America to continue its soul searching in its journey to be the human experiment we know to be the great America that we love. But we need to make sure that the arch of history is moving in the right direction. That we as Muslim Americans, as immigrants, as members of the minorities in this nation, and as Americans who are proud to stand with the principles of the Constitution and what this nation stands for, that we pledge our strength, our time, our efforts to make sure that our nation will move forward, to make sure that we will overcome bigotry, racism, hate, because we know that our belief gives us the strength to be able to move forward. We reach out to everybody who must make this country better and move forward. I want you to remain steadfast, remain strong, and remain faithful that inshallah America has not seen its best days yet, and that we will be able to overcome any challenge that will face us. Thank you all for being here. May Allah bless all of us.
I want to introduce Michelle Laru. She's the executive director of CASA Virginia. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. As an immigrant myself, my family moved here from Guatemala in exile. Our community is frightened for their futures. We have already been getting reports of children being bullied, Latino and Muslim children facing physical aggressions. This is clearly a result of the national rhetoric, but our members are resilient. We are Virginia, and we will define Virginia, and we will continue to push Virginia in the right direction. This election has taught us that in solidarity, we will be moving Virginia in the right direction, and bringing together all of the communities that have been touched by immigrants, all of the immigrants. We together will create a new Virginia that will move forward beyond this.
Next up, I'd like to have Drainsville District Supervisor John Faust say some remarks. Thanks, John.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm certain that we're all, or many of us are disappointed with the results of the election, but so many other wonderful things happening in this community. We are a very diverse community, but that diversity has made us so good here in Northern Virginia. Just this morning, I was at a ribbon cutting for the McLean Islamic Center, the first Islamic center in my district. And in the participants included 3 imams, a couple of rabbis, several Protestant ministers, and a Catholic priest. That's the type of community we have here in Northern Virginia. That's the type of community we're going to work to keep. And I would just say that, the American people just elected a president that I believe is a racist. He's anti-Muslim, he's anti-immigrant. But I don't believe the American people are. I grew up in one of those areas that voted for Trump. I think they voted for him despite those things. They voted for him because he convinced them that there's a better future, and in areas that have been just destroyed for 40 years from an economic standpoint. So let's not give up on the American people. We are basically very, very good, and we've got to continue to work together and make this country a great place that brought us all here in the first place. Thank you.
Next up, I'd like to hear from Mason District Supervisor, our own Penny Gross. Give it up.
Thank you. Transitions, whether personal or political, usually are difficult and unsettling times. In our American political system, we face such transitions on a controlled and regular basis, but this time it seems different to many, and I feel that uncertainty too. However, we must remember that our Constitution and laws protect all of us, not just a select few. That wonderful stars and stripes flies over all of us, not just a select few. The law protects all of us, not just a select few. That is what we need to remember. All of us, not just a select few. When we gathered here at Ramadan this summer, I jotted down some remarks that I made, and I've carried them in my purse ever since, not really knowing why I kept them in my purse, but today I know why. So I want to reiterate what I said in July. We have a responsibility to educate, to explain, to push back when necessary, and to put the discussion back on the appropriate path. We must respect differences and discover similarities, and we must share our outlook and hopes, not hide them. I am disappointed in the election results, of course, but I know that we truly are stronger together. And if we must be the loyal opposition, then let's approach the challenge peacefully, but always aware and ready to act on behalf of the shared values we hold so dear in this county, in this state, and in this nation. May God and Allah bless America.
Thanks, Penny. I want to call him Sandy Evans, Chair of the Fairfax County School Board and representative of the Mason District. Sandy.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for inviting me here today. Like so many of you, I am still stunned and reeling from the events of this week and the politics of fear, intolerance, and hatred. But I know that we will go on, and I know that we will fight fear with courage. We will fight intolerance with kindness. We will fight divisiveness by banding together in unity, all of us together. I want to assure you, as the chairman of the school board and as your representative here in Mason District, that we will not allow any bullying. We will not allow harassment of your children. Your children will be safe at school. I promise you, your children will be safe at school. If you hear of any problems, go to your child's teacher and then go directly to your child's principal at their school, and then please come to me, because I will make sure that it stops if there is any problem at all. We will not tolerate that here. We are blessed here in Mason District, in Fairfax County, and in our state to be an area that embraces our diversity. We truly embrace and value our diversity, and so we will overcome.
Thank you so much. I want to call on Delegate Jennifer Boysko from the 86th District.
Assalamu alaikum. It is my pleasure to be with you all today. I am a frequent visitor to the Adams Center. I represent the Herndon, Chantilly, Oak Hill area, and I consider that my second home. I am the daughter of an Episcopal priest. I was born in the Deep South during the Civil Rights era, and I know and understand well what prejudice and disenfranchisement looks like. I lived through it in Alabama and in Arkansas, and it's one of the reasons that I decided to go into public service so that I could stand up for those who don't have a voice. It is my pledge for you all today to know that in the General Assembly, you have many, many, many friends, people who are going to stand up for your rights, for the rights of women and girls, for the rights of all of the children who are in fear today and tomorrow. We are going to be there with you. We will stand with you, and we will not allow anything to happen. In our community, we have so many strengths and so many good things that we experience here together. Our diversity is the most beautiful thing about this community, in my opinion. I raised my 2 daughters here with friends from all over the world. They understand the perspectives. They understand what it's like to live in the world. And that's something that we can help people from other areas who do not have as much diversity understand. And I want to say thank you for having me here today. We will get through this. The sun is going to stay shining.
I want to call up Delegate Alfonso Lopez, our delegate here in the area in Fairfax County.
I have family members who are scared right now. I have neighbors and friends in our community here in Fairfax and Arlington who are livid and who are truly, truly concerned about what is going on. And all I can do is echo what my colleagues have said here today. That for all the folks here and all throughout this community who are scared and feel scarred by this election and who are concerned about the future, I will fight to my last dying breath against racism, against xenophobia, against hatred and boorish behavior and ugliness that does not represent who we are as Americans. If you are Latino and you are scared, I will stand up until my last dying breath to defend your right to live the American dream. If you are Muslim, I will stand up and defend your rights to my last dying breath to live in the United States free from fear and free from hatred, because that's not who we are. I have a very long and proud tradition on my mom's side of folks who served in the military and who fought for this country. And they did not fight for a non-inclusive and non-diverse nation. And I have a father who came here at the age of 19 from Latin America with the dream of a better life. And he questioned for the first time ever to me what America is. And I got to tell you, that made me more upset than anything I've experienced in years. You have my commitment, and you have every individual elected officials up here's commitment as well. We stand with you. We stand with our friends at Al-Hijrah Mosque. We stand with our Muslim brothers. And we stand for diversity and inclusion. And we stand for that in Virginia and all across America. Thank you for being here.
I want to introduce one of our best friends, Brother Adnan Muhammad, a close advisor to Congressman Don Beyer. Adnan has remarks from Congressman Beyer. Adnan.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Adnan Muhammad, and I work for Congressman Beyer, and I am a proud Muslim American. Unfortunately, the congressman could not be here today, but he gave me a statement of his to read to you all. It goes, I want to apologize for being unable to attend today as I am attending Veterans Day events. I congratulate Dar al-Hijrah on mobilizing its congregants to engage in the political process. Every registered voter, every door knock, and every call matters in an election. It is my great honor to represent this community in Congress. I am proud to say that Dar al-Hijrah is a model of civic and political engagement for many American Muslim communities. Last December, I stood on the steps outside of this mosque with many other members of Congress and the Virginia General Assembly to stand in solidarity with the Muslim community against bigotry and xenophobia. I continue to do so today. Additionally, this Congress, I introduced the Freedom of Religion Act that would make it illegal to impose a religious litmus test for immigration. I also introduced a House resolution that denounces hate crimes and hate speech against American Muslim communities. One of my main policy objectives in the 115th Congress is to reintroduce both of these pieces of legislation, working across the aisle to ensure that they pass. Although this presidential election did not go as well as we had hoped, do not be dissuaded from continuing your efforts. If anything, this is a clarion call to redouble our efforts. I will not abandon your community, and I will continue to fight on behalf of all people in this wonderful, diverse region. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
It is my honor to introduce the Attorney General of Virginia, the highest law enforcement officer in this state, Mark Herring. Give it up.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start off first by thanking all the veterans who might be here. I had the privilege of attending a Veterans Day observance in my hometown of Leesburg at General Marshall's home, and to all of the men and women who have worn a uniform to defend and protect our country and our freedoms, thank you for your service. I would also like to thank Imam Johari for extending an invitation to me to come by and visit. It is always good to visit with friends, and it is good to be back and wonderful to see you. You and the Muslim community are a vital part of our region, our state, and our country. I don't have to tell anyone. This has been a tough and difficult election season for everybody. I have stood with you before, and I will continue to stand with you. We Virginians are heirs to a proud legacy of religious freedom and mutual respect. My office in Richmond is a few blocks away from where Virginia's General Assembly adopted the Statute for Religious Freedom, which was written by Thomas Jefferson and which served as a model for other states and our nation. And I want you all to know, as your Attorney General, I will continue to do everything I can to keep you, your families, your community, and all Virginians safe. And as your Attorney General, I will continue to work as hard as I can to defend and to protect your civil liberties and the civil liberties of all Virginians. And I will continue to fight, as I have, for justice, equality, and opportunity for all Virginians. Again, it is good to be back. It is good to visit with friends, and wonderful to see you.
Sheikh Shakir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. On behalf of the Muslim community of Al-Hijrah and Northern Virginia, I extend my thanks and appreciation for all of our political leaders who joined us today. Definitely it's heartwarming to know that your political leaders understand who you are and understand your needs and your expectations. And above that, they are willing to come and talk to you directly face to face. And those are leaders that we should never forget. You know your friends at harsh times. And you know your friends by their qualities. And you know your friends by their stance. And in your name, I want to thank all of our guests for your stance. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. I'm sure when our children who are afraid to go to school, and those young daughters of yours who are thinking to take off their Islamic dress to fit in, when they hear the words of the Attorney General, the school board chair lady, may Allah bless all of their hearts, they will be assured that they will go to school protected and feel safe. Not only that, but they will feel proud of their faith, of their community, and of their political leaders. This is a day in history that will be remembered as the spirit of America that we need to see in every corner, in every county in this nation. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.